Some billionaires got together on TV to talk about AI, and I watched it so you don't have to. Welcome to Byte-Sized Updates, a series where I share fast, digestible tech news that actually affects you and the digital tools you use over a bite to eat. Today we're having Cava. Look at that bite. Oprah hosted a TV special where she talked with Bill Gates and a few other people to talk about AI, its risks, its growth, its impact, and the future. The interview started with the CEO of OpenAI, aka ChatGPT. He basically said that they have meetings with the government almost every day. And there they talk about safety tests, regulations, how the US could be strategic in using AI. She also brought up the lack of diversity in this field, specifically those leading this field, saying it's like run by a bunch of white dudes, which is true. He said, though slowly changing, the field is becoming a bit more diverse. And in terms of just general uses, he says that AI is beautiful because it means, quote, everyone in the world will be able to create what they imagine, not just the white dudes. Which is true. However, I feel like in these types of conversations, they always disregard the fact that people will need access to the tools and machines that run these systems, right? Like to use ChatGPT, you need to have a phone, you need to have a laptop, you need to be connected to the internet. There is a huge community of people that don't have stable internet access. That became apparent during COVID when everyone was in lockdown. I remember reading an article saying that students were going to like Taco Bell because they had free Wi-Fi there. There's a huge thing about accessibility that I feel like is disregarded in a bunch of conversations. Anyways, as you can see, I can go on and on about this. This was not in the special, just my 2 cents. I actually talked to a creator, essentially showed her what AI can produce. Showed her an AI video that was created a few years ago and compared it to what AI can generate now, along with AI audios. And basically the whole point of that segment was posing the question of how can we tell what is real? Yes, there are watermarks, there's metadata, but the average user isn't going to seek out that information. However, he said eventually we'll figure it out just like we have with every other tech advancement. Next, she talked with 2 individuals who are working to mitigate those AI risks. One who is the inventor of infinite scroll. Side note, infinite scroll is basically where there's no end to a page. Most social media feeds that you have infinite scroll, meaning you can keep scrolling and it'll keep refreshing to new content as you scroll. There's no kind of end to that scroll bar. Without infinite scroll, you would have to change to a completely new page. So it was invented to increase productivity and efficiency. But now we just use it to scroll on our feeds for hours and hours at a time. And there's data to prove that infinite scroll has literally wasted lifetimes. So he came with the perspective of like, yeah, you can have the best intentions when you're inventing something, but it could turn out to have really negative effects. I also asked them, why is AI growing so fast right now? They said that in 2017, there was a breakthrough at Google where AI could learn a universal language. That's why it's able to learn and grow at such a rapid pace. I talked to the FBI director, Christopher Wray, who basically said that AI is allowing JV criminals, like junior varsity criminals, to become varsity criminals. And I think what we all know is that laws haven't been able to keep up the pace. And he said his biggest fear right now is that the elite, like pro all-star bad guys, are going to be able to step up their game now with AI. He also said he expects disinformation from foreign adversaries during this election season. But he ended on, don't panic. Then she had a segment with Bill Gates who basically said that AI is bigger and going to have more impact than social media, computers, phones, anything we've seen before. Said education and healthcare specifically will change dramatically. This is when she started talking about AI and jobs and what I think a lot of people are worried about with AI taking their jobs. And he actually had a really interesting perspective, I thought, on this, and something a way of speaking about it in which I haven't heard before. He said, "We have organized our society to be fulfilled by our jobs," right? Like, we have this system where we're taught that we go to school, we work hard, we hopefully get into a good college, which will lead to a good, rewarding job, and we get dignity from that work. That is how our society is organized, right? With AI increasing productivity, people aren't going to work as much, and we should feel good about that. We should be glad that we'll have more leisure time, and it's a good thing that we don't have to work as much. But it's up to our leaders to make sure that that excess is shared fairly, which I think is really interesting and true, right? Because, like, we've seen it. A lot of people are saying they don't want to work a 9 to 5 because they're just working to make money to survive. People are like, why are we in this system where we have to work really hard and we don't even get to enjoy what we are supposedly working for, you know? So I think he does have a point there of where, like, we should be proud not to have to work anymore. Like, we need to make sure that if work becomes more efficient and more optimized with AI, the CEOs and the leaders of those companies aren't just hoarding the money. Will they do that? He also mentioned, which I definitely agree with, and I think we've already started seeing the growth of, is the appreciation of people and social interaction of humanity, even though AI is on the rise. I talked with author and Pulitzer winner Marilynne Robinson, who said, "We are not enough in love with our own existence." Her greatest fear is that AI will have its consequences before it deserves them. So all of these changes to the workforce and everything will be made only based on the expectations of what AI can do. So there will be lots of cutting back of jobs specifically anticipating the insurgence of AI. But then it will turn out that AI wasn't a great investment. But at that point, the economy will already be disrupted and we will have an unusable technology that we've invested so much in. For her, she would use AI for research, making a library, and essentially replacing work that is drudgery without the arrogance of replacing the substance of people. Honestly, the special was pretty good. It moved pretty quickly. If there's one thing Oprah can do, it's interview people. So go watch it if you want, but these were the quick bites.